Good morning, everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to our family service for today. It's nice to have everyone here and there joining us for service. For most of you, probably it's Sunday morning and kind of trying to keep the usual schedule for our services, and I really appreciate that. Hopefully you're able to view all of it. I think when you chant and then hear the Dharma message, you hear about half of it. If you don't chant and just listen to the Dharma message, you hear about a quarter of it. So the chanting, it all goes hand in hand, and the chanting settles our minds and prepares us to hear the Dharma. And so this is a nice way, a nice process that they have recognized and proven to be valuable and true for centuries and generations. And so in our busy world, hopefully we're not trying to find shortcuts here and there and flying off to the next thing and shortening everything as we feel we need to do sometimes. So thank you again for being here. I appreciate everything. I hope you have all your materials ready to join us and to participate in this service. I'd like to introduce you to our service chairpersons for today. Yes, joining us as our chairpersons for today are Squeak and Kiki. They are back. You might recognize them from prior services, and some of you might remember their stories. You know, they lost a dear friend a few months ago and had a very difficult time in trying to process losing someone, and being at such a young age and new to the temple, they were kind of struggling, but they appreciate the temple. If we've sat down and talked a few times, and we've talked about the white ashes reading that we do at our funeral services, the gobonsho. We've talked about the story of the mustard seed, the young mother who was trying to find a home where they had not encountered a death in their family, and all these things. There's a lesson to be learned, and they really appreciate that. And after a few of our discussions, through that all, they're still coming to learn about service and participating as chairpersons. And Squeak said, Sensei, I feel nurtured when I'm at the temple. I think that's why I like to be this chairperson, and just to try to do something to help and contribute to the temple. And I thought those were very appropriate words, very hit it the nail on the head. Just call this a nurturing place, to feel nurtured when you go through difficult things. So very wise words from Squeak and Kiki. So, as you know, they're too young to be wearing masks, but they are hoping we still are safe and cautious during these pandemic times. You see that they have their onenju on, so they are ready for service. I'd like to go over our service order for today. We will begin with the reading of the Golden Chain. This will be followed by the Raisanmon, the Three Treasures in Japanese. And then I'll take my seat upon the altar for the chanting portion, the Sanbutsuge and the Sanbutsuge. Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of the service, and then I'll return for a Dharma message. This will be followed by thank yous, and we will light the incense for Oshoko, incense offering, to conclude our service. Okay? So with that, we will begin. Please join me in the reading of the Golden Chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. 第三問。人参受け方し、今すでに受く。仏法聞き方し、今すでに聞く。好み根性に向かってどせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かって過去の身をどせん。大衆もろともに指針に参謀に消えし、立てまつるべし。自ら仏に消えし、立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに、大道を体現して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に消えし立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに、深く共造に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自らそうに消えし立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに、大衆を通りして一切無下ならん。無常人人未明の方は、百千万号にも愛をことかたし、我今検問し従事することを得たり、願わくば如来の真実義を消し立てまつらん。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。三部上、三仏芸。
知恵人妙光明一層神道大戦観が差分在所法可動生じ未不下段不正上位解任精進尿税三昧知恵以上公正特分不行志願一切空空一切大安決し有分百千六万無量大小中尿語者供養一切使徒処分不尿愚道検証不逆非尿語者処分世界不不影無種鮮度光明師匠変師小国尿税精進偉人難量量が差分国土第一号周奇妙道場朝鮮国領内音任務闘争加藤愛民道南一切実法来生新年少女伊藤が国経楽安穏公文神妙税が神聖本願の日力少々欲実法生存知恵無下少量子孫知が信用軽量心死食毒中家業精進忍辱不敬Namanda, Namanda, 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 namanda.
Good morning again, everyone. Nice to be here with you to enjoy this morning service together, family service. So today I thought I would share a story from the Adventures of Sensei on a recent trip that we were able to make. My wife Charmin still has a home in Payette, Idaho. So on occasion we have to go up there to maintain things and take care of things up there. And at this time with the pandemic, it's a little bit weary to fly in airplanes and things like that. And so sometimes kind of hesitant, and it's a long drive. It's an 11-hour drive, so it's a big chunk of time and effort to drive too, but also we need to bring things and bring things back. We need tools sometimes, so sometimes that just makes the better choice. And when we do it, it's going through high desert country, and we always make sure to carry extra water, food, warm clothing, maybe blankets and pillows, just in case something might happen. So one time, I used to serve at the temple up there, and once coming down to the Bay Area, we were driving in 100 miles out of town. 3 deer came bounding across the highway, and I hit a deer. And so the car was damaged. So a little bit further along, we pulled over, checked the car for damage, and radiator was leaking and things like that. And so we found a fairly place to park the car, checked it out. The sun's going down, and there's no cell phone coverage, so you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and standing there hoping someone might come and help us, but the cars are going by on the highway, maybe one every 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so there's not a whole lot of traffic. And those kind of times you wonder, where's the highway patrol when you need them? And so anyway, the sun was going down, no cell for service, and finally a young guy stopped in his truck and offered a ride, but we didn't want to leave the car. We didn't want to leave one person there. So if you could call the tow truck and tell us where we are, that'd be a big help. So he did call, and it took another hour or two later. Finally, tow truck came by and put our van on the bed of his truck and took us back to where we started in the first place. So these kind of things can happen, and it gets very serious. So on this recent trip, we had been there a couple of days to take care of things and got done, and finally loading up our car to make the trip back to the Bay Area, and loading up the trunk and loading up the back seat and eating our last things and putting the ice chest in the back seat so we have access to it, but it doesn't block our view and all these kind of things. Finally get everything loaded. Then I noticed the rear tire behind the driver looked a little bit low. So I told Charmin, looks like we might have a flat tire. So she comes out and takes a look, and it's kind of frustrating. It's getting ready to leave, and it's about 5:45. So we take out all the stuff from the trunk, get out our spare tire, put the spare on, and sure enough, there's a screw in the tire that was on there, and slowly but surely it's leaking air. So we put the spare on, and we went and trying to find somewhere that might still be open to fix the tire. All the businesses are closed. Maybe we better try the truck stop. So we go to the main truck stop. There's 2 of them in Eastern Oregon nearby. So we went to one. So no, sorry, we don't do that here, and it's kind of getting late. You should wait for Les Schwab to open in the morning. So we go to the next truck stop, and same story. And so we know the Les Schwab tire repair place, and they're very good, but we really wanted to leave this evening, And so nothing we can do. So just to get ready for the next day, find something to eat, and all the things that we had packed in the car were brought back into the house. And so very disappointing. We had so many things to get ready for, and I didn't count on missing another day out of town. And I had so many things to prepare for at the temple. I had a meeting the next day that I was going to have to miss. And so all these things are going through my mind. Oh no, I had to squeeze my schedule just to leave town for a couple of days, and now there's an extra day that I'm going to have to miss. And Charmin's thinking of, we're already worried about the kitties at the house. What if they ate all the food already? Now they don't have nothing to eat. Shadow, our horse, needs her medicine, things like that. We got to get back, and hopefully all the garden is still alive and all these things. So all these things get put into whack as we think about missing a whole another 24 hours now to get back home, and what can we do? But can't help it. Shikata ga nai, can't help it. So, we finally resolved with all this frustration just to settle in for the evening, try to get a good night's sleep before we left for the repair shop the next morning. So the next morning we get up, and they're going to open at 8, so we're trying to get things ready. And on the way to town, we're at the last intersection, and we would cross over the highway, a left turn to get into the next town where Les Schwab tires would be. And so we're waiting for the light to change green, and in the intersection, a young lady jumps out of her car, her flashers are on, she ran out of gas. So she's the only one in the vehicle, so she's pushing her car, no one's driving the car, she's trying to get it to slowly roll through the intersection. And it's a busy morning, people are still going to work, and it's a highway, so it's a busy place. Should we help? I guess we better help. So I put my mask back on and run out in the street, start pushing her car. It starts to roll, so get in and drive. And so she's driving and I'm pushing. We get across the street, and she's going straight down the second lane. Pull over. I'm not going to push her all the way to the gas station, so I'm encouraging her to pull over just so we're off the road and out of traffic. And so after a little bit, we get into a driveway and then the gravel area out of the lanes. And Charmin had made our left turn and went down about a half a mile so she could turn around and come and get me. And so finally, as soon as the young lady was in the driver's seat, she's on her cell phone and talking to I don't know who, so I didn't expect to run out of gas, and blah, 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 and talking. We get the car to stop, and I'm looking for Charmin's car so we could get on to fix our tire. And finally, Charmin pulls up, and I jump in the car, and we make a U-turn and get on our way. And the young lady's calling whoever to get her help. So I tell Charmin, she didn't even say thank you. And, it's kind of annoying, right? You run out in the highway to help someone, and, I didn't expect to get a thank you, but at the same time, I don't think I know anyone who wouldn't say thank you, I don't think I would want to know anyone who wouldn't say thank you. So it just takes a minute. You could put the phone down just for a split second. Really appreciate your help. Something. But she says nothing. She didn't even look in my face. She didn't even glance. Is this a racist thing or what? Is this a privilege thing or what? What's going on here? It's just she's too young to know better. What's going on here? I don't want to spend too much time about it. Maybe Squeak Kiki could tell her a little bit more about gratitude and Dharma, and she could be better off in her life. But a little bit annoying that someone would receive some assistance and benefit and not even acknowledge it. So anyway, we talk about this a little bit as we're going to the tire center, and we have our own concerns to be thinking about. So we get to the tire center, and all the while, I told Sherman what happened. She didn't say thank you or anything, and for ourselves as well, to look and not to be so self-absorbed. Initially, we were so frustrated to lose an extra day and to have this happen to our car, our tire. And when we're not so self-absorbed, we're able to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is Amida. So to know about the Dharma, to read a book about the Dharma, maybe it's kind of like having 4 good tires, but you're not going anywhere, right? It doesn't matter. But when you get out in the world, into, we say everyday life is our practice. And so to have something like this happen, and then to practice this, don't be so self-absorbed. See the bigger picture, and that the bigger picture is Amida. So the Nembutsu opens us to recognize and connect to the countless infinite causes and conditions that sustain every moment in our lives. What if we had left and didn't notice a tire until it was a flat 100 miles away? What if we put on the spare and left without another spare and went 300 miles, halfway to the Bay Area, stuck somewhere, and with no spare, no cell phone connection, wondering what do we do next, hoping someone nice stops to help us instead of someone with ill intentions, And so lots of things happen, although frustration that things got changed from our original plan, and now we're trying to make do. Still, there are a lot of positive things. We're able to get a good night's sleep. We're able to wait and get professional help to fix our tire, and feeling a little bit more safe to continue on with our journey. And so the Nembutsu opens us to Amida and so many things, even though things don't happen as we imagine all the time. Amida is not a God that's going to fix our tire. No, Amida doesn't care about things like this. Amida is all these infinite causes and conditions that happen regardless of what I am or what I do, what I think. So we made it home. Namo Amida Butsu. We made it home. So all these things that happen on a regular basis. These infinite things, not only at the temple, but connecting us from family and friends, places we are, the food we eat, all these infinite things we benefit from, and we don't think so much of it until we are caused to see and look a little bit deeper, and we open ourselves to be able to see this infinite causes and conditions always working, always assisting to create our reality. And this is Amida in continuous function. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. I'd like to thank you all for being here for this service, joining us for this family service, and being a part of it all. Special thanks to Squeak Kiki for being our chairpersons today, and everyone who have been involved at both our temples to prepare the onaijin, prepare the videos, and sending the links out so that these services can be shared and enjoyed. So much is involved at both the temples, all the temples, to be able to continue to provide the Dharma and the comfort and the nurturing that our temples provide. So thank you very much. I'll now light the incense, so please join me here and there to offer incense however you have set up to do. So let us put our hands together in Gassho one more time. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda.